Good day, everybody. This is BA Radiant Dawn, and I am back with this year's mega collab video. So I did one last year. I had to do one this year. I love doing these so much. They're so much fun. Special shout out to Soup for being the one to edit all these videos together and for helping me with my part, because basically without Soup, this would not be a finished product, and I appreciate that so much. Soup, you are awesome. All the timestamps and channel links are down in the description below. Definitely go check them out. I've got everyone's links down there. These are all fantastic people, and I hope you guys enjoy. There's going to be an intro video following this, and it's pretty awesome. I hope you guys enjoy this rest of the video, and be ready, Don, signing off. You will see me later. See you, everybody.
Hey yo, hello, it's me, the Iceberg Guy. As a proud supporter of the hashtag Violent Sweep, my favorite unit of 2022 was of course the one and only Violent. As we can see here from his wiki page, he is an axe cavalry unit who... Well, luckily there's one thing I love almost just as much as Violent, hot anime babes. And in 2022, we got everyone's favorite goth bat GF, Emblem. I wasn't actually home when her trailer came out, but I was so excited for her to become a unit that I tried to livestream my reaction from my car.
Okay, I'm in my car right now. But Emblem just came out.
Using her in Summoner Duels is always very fun to me. The new line of B skills she introduced that removed the transformation requirements that let her fly around everywhere is just so cool. She comes with a lot of effects to add to her bulk, like dodge and guard, which makes her surprisingly good in both player phase and enemy phase. I plan on plus 10ing her just because she makes use of every single stat so well, and because she's very attractive. But how can I not mention her crown jewel, the C skill that prevents your enemies from being saved? It's amazing for Summoner Duels especially, as it allows an alternate way of getting through save armors that isn't just trying to blast through them. This allows for an additional layer of strategy, which I quite enjoy. I also enjoy, and I cannot stress this enough, how attractive Emblem is. But yeah, thank you so much to BA Radiant Dawn for having me on. Hopefully we'll get a Violent alt next year so he can be my favorite unit of 2023.
What's up everyone, it's aegisfehtube here, and before I get started with my favorite unit of 2022, I want to give a huge thanks to BA Radiant Dawn for inviting me, along with many other Fehtubers, to partake in this mega collab. With that said, 2022 was an interesting year for Fae. There was a lot of power creep, and a certain seasonal 4-star focus unit was no stranger to that. Another harmonized unit from that same banner understood power creep all the same. So yeah, I have two favorite units of 2022, Summer Claude and Summer Edelgard. Summer Claude is a blue flying dagger unit who wields Frozen Delight, which accelerates special trigger cooldown count -1, grants him attack and speed +6 in combat, and allows him to attack twice if he initiates combat, depending on the number of stat bonuses he has, plus the number of stat penalties on the foe. It also grants him Canto Remainder. If this wasn't good enough, he also comes with Fallen Star. This is the skill that was introduced with his legendary version, which gives him an 80% damage reduction on the foe's retaliation, and again during the first round of combat in the enemy phase for the initiator's first attack. It also inflicts gravity on the target foe and foes adjacent to that foe when Claude initiates combat. Claude is a super fun unit to use in all game modes. He's a killing machine and can take down the biggest meta threats, like Brave Edelgard, Fomortius, Ascended Idun, and more. His Canto and Gravity make him really viable in hit-and-run strategies in AR. He has soloed multiple Abyssal, Mythic, and Legendary maps, I have him at plus 10 on my free-to-play account since Claude is one of my favorite Fire Emblem characters. Mine currently has lethality, reposition, attack speed catch 4, fallen star, and attack speed menace to try and stack as many bonuses and foe penalties as possible. He also has blade session for the additional attack and speed. In the art department, Summer Claude stands out. Azutaro did an amazing job with Claude's art. I love the way his beach clothing relates to the golden deer house with the Leicester colors and cape-like towel. The yellow shades are also super adorable. I do wish it was timeskip Claude instead, but I guess it makes more sense with the paralog for it to be pre-timeskip Claude. As for the voice acting, Joe Zeshado captures Claude's personality perfectly. Summer Edelgard, paired with Backpack Altina, is my other favorite unit of 2022. She is a sword armor unit wielding Regal Sunshades, which has slaying, gives Edelgard attack plus 6 in combat, and 40% damage reduction on the foe's first attack, inflicts attack minus 6 on foe during combat, and has a brave effect depending on where portions of the enemy team are located. She also comes with Raging Storm from her legendary version, which gives her a guaranteed follow-up attack against beasts and dragon foes, and grants her another action if she is not adjacent to an ally after combat. Summer Edelgard also introduced the C-skill Assault Troop, which allows her to move up to 3 spaces. Given slaying, brave attacks, a guaranteed follow-up attack, superior mobility, and a free action, in addition to having enough HP to ignore magic traps and enough attack to make heavy blade checks, makes her the best Gale Forcer in the game. She also works well as a near or far savior, but during light season in my hit and run team, I just run her with her base kit along with pivot and heavy blade to proc Gale Force more easily. I use Ash and Yuri to help her get in turn 1 to take out 2 key units and retreat while the safety fence is still active. I also run her in a more traditional Gale Force team during light season with Brave Lysithea for the self damage, so I can use her as a Wings of Mercy beacon. She also does well against many current meta threats like Ninja Camilla, Emblem, Brave Edelgard, and more. Her art is so cute and I love her pairing with Altina. The two seem really random together, but I enjoy the two queens of the sea nonetheless. The voice acting of the pair is also top tier. With that said, thanks so much. Have a happy 2023.
Hey everyone, it's me, your boy ToastyBeruka here, bringing you another submission from my fave unit of 2022. And for this year, since BA so graciously, invited me to become a part of this again, I'm going to be submitting my Hitari Carla that I recently got to plus 10 not that long ago, actually. And it was pretty insane, and it was such a long road just to even get her to plus 10, because it didn't really go particularly well when she first showed up. I only managed to get her to Spark, and then I just had to save up orbs for months until I finally got her, to show up in a double special hero banner, and which it gratefully it did, and I managed to actually get what I needed with such a good amount of orbs, so it wasn't a total waste. So, and now my particular reason for trying to go for her is, well, for one, Carla got an ult. And you know how I am about my waifus getting their ults. I mean, I'm still waiting on that Beruka ult, all right? It's been like 5 years. Please just give us Beruka already. Come on. I know you gave everyone in my main team an ult, though. Where the fuck's Beruka? But besides that tangent, another cool thing about Hitari Carla is the fact that her weapon is godly, It's insanely godly. It gives you true damage based on what you do, and they can't, defend against that. There's nothing that will stop the true damage, unless it's, something else, but, originally, I actually had her with Luna, but I decided to go with Vital Astra, since Vital Astra actually provided a good point of, damage reduction, and not to mention the fact that she'll always have it ready. And it just makes it cool, and probably with the addition of, Time Pulse 4, I'll be able to, actually make her even more stronger, which I do have right now, so, maybe I might actually give it a shot, but, If you want to see what she can do, I actually do have a video that I've uploaded it past on my channel, but since I can't actually like put an entire video on this, since I gotta keep this brief, here will be a short montage of a bunch of stuff that she's killing.
Do me the honor. I will not hold back. Do me the honor.
That, like, you see what I mean? Like, it's pretty good. Like it's like godly. Sometimes I just don't know how I build this stuff. Sometimes I'm either dumb in Feh, or I'm either super smart, and it's normally always dumb, which is probably something that's just synonymous with the fact with me stuff. And her build, what I built her with, the Surge Sparrow, so she'll always heal, she'll always have all this, and her always do damage and stuff, and she's fast too. And let me tell you, man, like, hot damn. I mean, especially with those, big Hadakadon.
Later.
So anyway, that'll be it for what I want to showcase right here. A big special thanks to BA for doing this big event once again. I remember last year's was such a blast, and he got a bunch of awesome Feh creators, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest. It depends on where I am. If I'm in the very first stuff, then good luck to the rest of everyone, and I hope everyone has a fantastic year. And yeah, let's keep going, man. Let's keep Feh going this year, all right? Because I got everything writing on this, all right? Please don't make me do this, all right? All right? All right, okay? All right, good. Now that you guys know that, make sure to hit that sub and like and show how much you appreciate BA's work, because he does put a lot of work into this, and it's not that easy, let me tell you. And yeah, that will be it for my submission here. Enjoy the rest, and I'll see you guys next time, and hopefully see you somewhere else, all right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys the next time, yeah. Also, don't forget...
Hey y'all, this is Ernie here, and I'm here to talk about my favorite unit of 2022. Hopefully y'all are looking forward to it. But yeah, I've been deliberating on my bed, looking through each art and each unit, seeing which of these units has been very, special to me for the year 2022. And I have decided on one unit that has come to my mind a lot. And that unit has been Ishtar. That was not Ishtar, but yeah, this is Ishtar. But yeah, Ishtar is literally, I'm not talking about like the old Ishtar art, but the new one, the one that was created by Niji Hayashi, I think. But yes, Niji Hayashi art literally slapped. Like, I know this unit has been like very disappointing for a lot of people that are Ishtar fans and stuff like that, but me personally, like, yeah, I would, it is disappointing, but like, I wouldn't like that. I think we all can agree here though, is that the fact that this art slaps, yo. Like, literally, you could literally feel her presence by just looking at this beautiful art right here. Like Niji Hayashi literally like killed it in this art. But yeah, this is like literally my top unit for 2022 personally for me. Like, I'm literally, of course, like a Ishtar, enjoyer and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna be like fully like simping and stuff like that about that. But like, she was like my first, like, she was like one of my like the few like 5-star units that I used still in like on arena runs and stuff like that. But yeah, Ishtar personally for me is the best one for 2022, and that's about it.
Hello everyone, I'm DTM, and I'm a Fehtuber, mainly doing Ether Raids, Summoners Duels, and other meta-analysis type of content, and I'm so happy to be here when it comes to my favorite unit that was released in Feh in 2022. Honestly, it was very difficult because there are a lot of units that were released last year that I really liked. You might be wondering, but DTM, you love Lucina. She's your favorite character. You even have her as the profile pick. Why isn't it just Valentine's Lucina? And you would be right, like, Valentine's Lucina is definitely up there. I absolutely love her design and outfit. Love the fact that it is based off of the soundtrack image. But unfortunately, I don't really use Lucina that much. And yeah, so unfortunately, I don't find her to be particularly fun, especially since, you know, she is a save unit and all of that. But yeah, so I personally have to give my favorite unit that was released in 2022 to Summer Edelgard. Oh my goodness. Summer Edelgard is just so perfect. Edelgard is my favorite 3 houses lord, and I love everything about this unit. The Altina pairing is something I did not know that I needed until it was presented to me, and it just makes so much sense, and I really love the thematic. And the art is amazing too. Like, I love the design, I love the art, I love the floaties. It's all amazing. But not only that, she is super fun to use in Ether Raids. Triple action Gale Force reigns supreme, and she is so good as an initiator, especially in Chaos season, and fits my playstyle perfectly. Like, I love Gale Force. Gale Force is my favorite strat in my favorite game mode, and she just works so well in that and makes it super fun. So yeah, I'm very glad that Summer Edelgard is here and that I am able to use this unit competitively in Ether Raids as well. And yeah, overall, love this unit to bits. Hopefully, we get more Edelgard and Lucina ults in the future.
So let me get this straight. Out of all of the FateTubers in this video, you picked me. Out of all of them, you want to hear me talk about my favorite unit of 2022? Not happening. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. You're just wasting your time. Just pick someone else. I'm not going to talk about my favorite character of 2022. So what if I do tell you my favorite unit of 2022? What are you going to do with that information? Just because you want to know my favorite unit of 2022, which is Bride of Sophia, who made a first appearance in a trailer for a banner called Bride of Blossoms that was released on May 17, 2022 in the Nintendo Mobile channel, doesn't mean that it's going to be valuable information for you. What good would it do? Why is knowing that Bride of Sophia is my favorite unit of 2022, who is a red mage flyer with 167 BST, with an attack and defense boon and an HP bane, important to you? And don't get me started on a pref weapon called Dragon Bouquet that has 14 might and 2 range. Like, seriously, why do you want to know that it grants attack +3? And that's not the only thing. At the start of combat, it grants +5 to all stats when her HP is 25% or above, weapon triangle advantage against colorless foes, and, like this really matters to you, grants her a guaranteed follow-up attack. Her weapon description is like a paragraph long. Sure, it's not like Brave Ephraim long or Nyla long, but still, what is the point? Oh, and do you know what else she has? She has a dual rally skill, an attack defense push 4 skill, because that skill still exists, and a hold skill. But why do you want to know that? Do you also want to know that the reason I like her is because she looks so cute in that outfit and that it makes her look like a flower girl in a wedding? Not to mention that I have a thing for shy girls and also for some reason Pegasus Knights too, and they happen to be put together in the same unit? Oh, and while I'm here, maybe I should tell you that I haven't played Binding Blade at all in my life. And then you're gonna start asking me, why didn't you like Sophia then? To which I respond with, I've thought about building her OG version before for a while now, but it didn't come to fruition until her Halloween all came out, and I really adore her design, to the point where I actually built her, plus tender, and done true souls of her. Have you seen her Halloween all? She looks so freaking cute. Oh my god. And from that point on, I had to pull for her bridal alt. And oh, spoiler alert, I even plus tender. That must be some great information for you, huh? By the way, I didn't make a video for that, and it's coming out soon, or it should be out in my channel now. Go check it out and stuff while you're at it. Either way, read my lips. I will not tell you my favorite unit of 2022. You got that? So after all of that, you still want to know my favorite unit of 2022? You really are stubborn, aren't you? Alright, fine. My favorite unit of 2022 is...
Hi everyone, I'm HoodieAngelBrandon. A lot of great characters released this year that I really enjoyed. Some I'd been waiting for a long time, like Rickon, Karagi, Dwyer, and Medius. And a lot of favorites also got really cool ults, like Annette, Claude, Dimitri, Nils, Camilla, Corrin, and the very long overdue legendary Xander. But by far, my favorite character this year was... Captain Geralt, the legendary Blade Breaker. He's been one of my most wanted characters since Three Houses released in 2019, and he was well worth the wait, with stellar art, great voice work by my favorite voice actor of all time, an awesome stat line worthy of the legendary Bladebreaker, and even an awesome pref that hits hard while also offering support utility. He somehow not only stands out as a great lance cav despite the class being super saturated, but he was even easy to merge thanks to being a Grail unit. He literally ended up with everything that I wanted for him and more. He can debuff enemies and hit super hard, and thanks to being a cavalry unit, he also has access to the ever powerful Canto effect, allowing him to literally run circles around his opponents. And he wasn't even that expensive to build either, only needing a few premium skills to get him up and running. He hits like a truck, and even if he's a little on the simple side, he's a lot of fun to use. Combined with just being one of my favorite characters, I'm thrilled he was finally able to join my Angel army in FEH this year. And that's why I've got to show some love to the best dad, Papa Gerald, my favorite character from this year.
Hello everyone, my name is Stitched, and this is my entry for our favorite units of 2022. Last year for 2021, I submitted my Dedue, and this year I was lucky enough to get an Ileana alt in 2022. So here is my favorite unit of last year, young Ileana. I feel like when that trailer came out, so we saw the silhouettes and it was really obvious that it was going to be, I think Soren and Mio were in the silhouettes. And so I was like, well, that's cool because I really do like Soren too. But I had absolutely no expectation that Ileana would be on that banner, as did a lot of other people that were not so happy that she was on that banner, but it's okay because I was, and Faye definitely got some money out of me for me to be able to get the last couple copies of her when the banner was running close to its end. So I love this unit. I think that with the last year, a lot of the seasonal demotes, I don't even remember most of them, but I feel like nobody really talks about Ileana, and I understand why. They've definitely added a lot more green mages recently, so I guess she doesn't stand out all that much, but I think her tome is solid. The damage reduction in it is actually pretty useful because a lot of the time mages can't get that kind of stuff, so it actually is kind of helpful. As for her build, I do want a different B slot on her. I'm not sure what, because we have the no follow-up seal, so I haven't really found anything that I like more than the lull that she comes with. Eventually I'll find something. I have Special Sire 4, I could do something different. Most of the time I just use her in arena when I'm not caring about tier 21, which is most of the time, or I even use her in Aether Raids because the nice thing about being more casual is I have nothing to do and I have no business in Vault of Heaven, so I can kind of just use whoever, and she's pretty good with the type of the level of caring I have for Fire Emblem Heroes at this moment. But yeah, this is my favorite unit of 2022. I'm very grateful to be very close to an Ileana emblem. In the meantime, I will keep my blank build Effie as the last unit for my Grand Hero Battle clears, but yeah, my young Ileana is my favorite unit from 2022. I think that she's great. She's a lot of fun and she's very cute. So yeah, that's it. And once again, thank you for having me as part of this collaboration this year. I really appreciate being asked to do it.
Hey everyone, LunaFV here, and to the surprise of absolutely no one, my favorite unit that came out in 2022 was Valentine's Lucina. When she came out, she was the first Lucina alt in a while, and she checked so many boxes for what I had wanted in a new Lucina. Right off the bat, her Awakening soundtrack outfit had been something I had wanted to see in-game for a long time, and it's to this day one of my favorite Lucina designs. In terms of her as a unit, green was a color outside of Lucina Emblem at the time, with all the other Lucinas being red or blue, which made it hard to deal with tanky blue units. She solved that problem, and on top of that, she was an armor unit, giving the Lucina team access to save skills, which were, in my opinion, at their absolute peak around the time she came out, before major counters like Arvel and Embla existed. Her inclusion finally gave me a proper, current-day savior, sorry Wintercrom, that I actually felt like investing into, and that could stand up to most of the meta. Even though power creep in 2022 was especially rampant, and by the end of the year she was pretty outclassed as an Axe Savior by a refined Brave Edelgard and Winter Black Knight, it hasn't stopped me from trying to use her to her full potential.
Hey y'all, it's Squad here. Now normally, favorite unit of a year it's pretty straightforward. Not a lot of people have trouble with that. But for me, my favorite boy is Berkut from Fire Emblem Echoes. Unfortunately, he didn't have an ult this year. Now, if you know me, you've seen my videos before, you know I like to keep it really serious. And I seriously wanted to get this right. So I came up with a super sophisticated process to help me figure out who my favorite unit was. Here's that process. Seliph, he's great. Okay, Seliph. Seliph, as we all know, is the main lord of Fire Emblem genealogy of the Holy War, kinda. You might know him from his father, Sigurd, who was recently in Fire Emblem Engage. He was revered across all of Yggdrasil for his ability to fearlessly sprint headfirst into danger, until one day he fearlessly sprinted headfirst into danger for the last time. You can actually experience this for yourself. It's one of my favorite games. All you need to do to play it is find an SNES with original hardware, a guide to help you understand the complicated skill system, the resolve to not quit after Chapter 5, and a Japanese dictionary. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I want to show you my super cool, epic, invested Brave Self with a special build that only I use. In his A slot, we've got his native attack speed Clash 4, which is also on my Violent because I thought that would be pretty funny. My Seliph also has his native Lull in the B slot, which next up, of course, in the C slot, is his native PRF Air to Light, which along with his PRF weapon, allows him to do a bunch of Seliph stuff. He's +0 because his fodder is too damn good, and he's got Sigurd's clothes on, implying that my base Sigurd is running around in the castle without them. I bet you've never seen this build on a Seliph before. Pretty unique, right? No stealing. Here are some reasons why Brave Seliph from Fire Emblem 4 is my favorite unit of 2022. Reason number 1, he is very, very good. If a Brave Seliph on the other team attacks one of your unit will probably die. Reason number 2, he's too cool to be on just one banner. 2 banners? Try all the banners. There's no better feeling than when you're pulling for that one unit that SD requires for a good run, and Seliph shows up with his dumb smile instead. Reason number 3, there were no Berkut ults this year. I bet no one in this whole collab has reasons this solid. If you thought my silly jokes were funny, you should go follow me on Twitter where I make them to myself. If you didn't, you should subscribe to my YouTube instead. That'll show me. And if you really hated what I had to say, you should go watch my most recent video about that time I used a violent in bracket and leave an angry comment. Watch the whole thing through, then do it, so I really learned my lesson. Big shoutouts to Bard for hosting this. He's a great dude. You'll catch me hanging out in his stream all the time. So definitely, if you don't follow him, watch his streams, I would get on that. I don't know if anyone else has a Seliph that's as cool as my Seliph, but I do know that there's no time, and your sword is enough. Squadala!
And with that, we have finally reached my favorite hero of Generation 6, and it's going to be the one and only Ascended Joshua. For over a decade, Joshua was by far my favorite character. I loved everything about him in Sacred Stones, from him being a secret prince to his flirty and playful personality. So when Faye came out, I saved a ton of orbs for when Joshua would get added. Then he came out as a free unit, and he seemed good, but not great. I wasn't a really big fan of his art, and his refine was honestly underwhelming. Summer Joshua looked great, but once again, he wasn't a phenomenal unit. Good, but not great. Then we finally got Ascended Joshua. This hero was everything I could have possibly wanted for Joshua and more. First, his art is stunning. The design of his outfit screams Johanna. The outfit is so perfectly designed. The colors go so well together and accentuate all the best parts of the outfit. I never knew Joshua could look this good. As a unit, Joshua is amazing too. His weapon is so unique compared to any other. He can get fire sweep or true damage, depending from what angle he engages from, which is such a cool effect. He also works great with lethality, which lets him be a premier nuke in the meta. The last thing that really made me love this hero the most is how well they take advantage of the Ascended concept. This is Joshua who has become the king of Johanna. This is a much more mature and responsible Joshua, who has to take into account the well-being of his country. It's so amazing that Fire Emblem Heroes is able to expand on the story of Sacred Stones in this way, and give the players a chance to explore more of Joshua's character. Honestly, I wish every Ascended hero could be more like Joshua.
Hello, my name's Toto, and I'm the main person behind GodlyToto edits. Now, a couple of years back, I was asked a similar question to this by my friend Monkey on their channel, and my answer was that my favorite characters were Reed and Solius. But for this, BA gave me a stricter parameter of it had to be a unit from last year, so my answer naturally is going to change. But to no one's surprise, it's Ash. And I feel like a lot of people already like recognize me as like the one person who really likes Ash. I mean, like I've certainly done like a lot of content for her, and also I had like a whole interview with her VA and reaction videos. I've done a lot of stuff with Ash, so like I understand why. But I actually never said why I like her so much, or at least not in public. So I appreciate this chance to be able to talk a little bit more about it. And for starters, I think her design is like easily one of the best, like in Heroes, period. I feel like gold, white, and blue go very well together, and she has an interesting design, and at the very least I'm glad that she's wearing pants and not like a skirt or something. And also just kind of her body language of like she's like very calm and reserved, but just her opening cutscene of her falling from the sky and into the summoner's arm. That's where they got me. I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'm on board with this. And also, you know, that animation when she turns into her beast form, and all she does is like lay down, and it's literally just the meme of like unbothered, happy, in my lane, moisturized. It's just great. She's so adorable. And of course, also with the way that she defends herself with, you know, shooting lasers from her tail. I have a thing for like shooting energy out of unconventional places, like yeah, Shin Godzilla shooting lasers from its back, or Goku firing up a Kamehameha with his feet. That's the good stuff. I love that. And well, yeah, Shin Godzilla also shoots laser from its tail, but this one's also cool. Like let's not take that away from her. I say that she was like scientifically crafted to be like the most appealing character you could ever have, but also being like keeping her simple, keeping her humble. She's not destined for greatness, but she doesn't really need it. She just needs to be a good girl, pretty much, and she very clearly does that. Thanks again to VA for being so patient with me and wanted to hear me ramble about a cow for like 4 minutes. And also, yeah, consider subscribing to their channel if you haven't yet. And also check out mine, GodlyToto, wink wink. But yeah, hope to see you next year with another unit, maybe, hopefully, I don't know that yet.
It's the start of a new year, so I thought it would be fun to take a look at my favorite unit released in FEH in 2022. I feel like it should come as no surprise who the #1 unit on this list is. It's New Year's Fafnir. Although he came out on literally the first day of the year, it was still in 2022. I had really wanted base Fafnir to be added to FEH as a mythic, but I was even happier to see him added as a New Year alt. The New Year seasonals are my favorite batch of special heroes. The kimonos look lovely and the units have cute voice lines. I've used him in so many different modes. Aether Raid's offense, Aether Raid's defense, abyssal maps, arena, summoner duels, you name it. He has performed amazingly in every single one of them. Fafnir opened me up to a whole new world of FEH strategies, including Gale Forcing, which is something that I'd wanted to try for ages. And he has made my year so much more fun. There was a period of time at the beginning of the year where my whole spark and creativity and happiness and joy for this game was reignited just by this unit existing. So to me, this was the most special unit of 2022. I absolutely love Fafnir, and I can't wait to see if we'll get another alt this year, maybe Fallen, and maybe this time with even more abs.
Hey y'all, WyliaYT here, but you can call me Chip, and I am here to talk about my favorite unit from 2022. Now, as y'all can see, I'm a huge fan of Marissa, but for obvious reasons, I can't pick her. But that does not mean that Sacred Stones is out of the picture just yet, because my favorite unit from 2022 is Colm. Now, Colm is kind of lackluster in the damage department sometimes, Being a blue dagger, he is absolutely walled by Ascended Fjorm or Brave Edelgard, but when the matchup works out, he can actually do so much work. With Vicious Dagger and Windsweep, he can just do a lot. His speed is, he's so fast. He can do so much. And I'm just a huge fan of him lore-wise as well. He has a great support with Marissa, and I love Nami as a unit as well, though she didn't put in as much work for me as Colm did. And I'm just so happy with the fact that he got added to the game. Right at the beginning of 2022, the Ascended Joshua banner came out, and we were all so surprised. At the time, Ascended units were only Lake Yarn and Fjorm, and we were kind of wondering what kind of units they would be at that point. But when Joshua became an Ascended unit, it kind of opened up a whole world of what Ascended units could be. On that banner, we had Joshua, Rennick, Colm, and Nami. Obviously, you can't separate Colm and Nami. They're childhood friends, and they're just a great support pair. And obviously, I have them S ally supported, and they're just amazing. They're just so cute together. And Colm, as a lore-wise and as a unit, put in so much work for me in 2022. Like, he has the Vicious Dagger set, but he also comes with Quick Dagger, and Quick Dagger with Lethality, Times Pulse, and like Quicken Pulse in the seal slot. An immediate lethality can take out quite a few Far Sabers if the conditions meet pretty well. I also took Vicious Dagger from Rennick, who also appeared on that banner. So he also has a Disarm Trap. So in Ether Raids, he can also put in quite a bit of work. His HP is decent enough that if they're Hex Trap, instead of a Disarm Trap, he can still like deal with it pretty well. And just Colm as just overall was so strong for me. And I am just a huge fan of these two as characters that I literally could not like remove them from my favorites list for 2022. I was so happy when they got added, especially them getting added together. You can't separate them. Of course you can't. I was so happy. I do have some honorable mentions. Valentine's Lucina was so strong when she got released. Savvy Fighter as a near saver, very, very strong. Bride Sophia, I'm a huge fan of Sophia in Fire Emblem Heroes. I have base Sophia at +10 and Resplendent. Halloween Sophia also at +10. She was like bulky enough with attack res hold and then attack defense push and all that, that I would use her in Summoner's Duels and she would be able to tank hit, retaliate really hard, and there's just so much that she put in work for. Another one is Summer Erica, who granted did not put in as much work for me as the other previous two, but since this is a favorites list and not a strongest list, Summer Erica, absolutely. Sacred Stones fan, love Erica. So cute, so sweet, so nice. She had to make the list. And then my next and final one would have to be the duo Tana Peony. That is just great. Like, Tana's my second favorite character from Sacred Stones. So when she got added in that Fire Festival banner, I was so surprised. And her Harmonized skill, granting another action to units from the same title, that was such a good support skill for both Marissa and Colm. And I was so happy that she got added into the game. But none of them compared to how useful Colm was as a unit over the course of the entire year. So happy that Colm and Nami were added to the game right at the tip of the year, which means I could include them in this video. I am very grateful to be included in this video, and I hope you all enjoyed my rant about Colm and Sacred Stones and Marissa, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be it for my segment. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all around. Goodbye.
Hi everyone, I'm Kaius with a K. It's that time of year again, also known as, well, the start of it, which in FrostLordFrigid terms means the time where we get together to talk about our favourite units. Last year I talked about Fallen Orson and how I loved him due to how well Intelligent Systems conveyed his character and story through his kit. But this time I'm going to do something completely different. I don't like my favourite 2022 unit due to their narrative conveyance or based on how gimmicky or fun they were to use. I like my favourite 2022 unit because I think he's hot. My favourite 2022 unit is Winter Black Knight. It's hard to describe exactly what I like about Winter Black Knight beyond the simple yet not insignificant fact that he exists. People who have known me for a while already know that Black Knight is a character that I hold extremely normal online opinions about. It's really hard to explain without sounding weird, so I guess the easiest place to start is by saying that I have all 3 of his versions S supported. Oh. It runs deep. To say that I was inconsolable when he got a seasonal ult would be an understatement. I key smashed like I'd never key smashed before, and don't even get me started on the Twitter takeover. I'll just, let this scroll by. This character means a lot to me, and I don't even know how to begin to describe why. It's not something I can describe really. I just think he's very cool, and he's a fictional crush of mine, go figure. But there's just some kind of happy feeling I get from seeing Black Knight that few other characters in the Fire Emblem series provide for me, and seeing an ult for him where they've turned this big imposing bad boy into one of the coziest looking units I think they've ever added is very, very nice. In terms of design, I couldn't really ask for anything more. I think the community really wanted an ult where it's just Black Knight in the same armour, with some minor alterations to it to suit the seasonal banner, and they delivered. Though helmet only swimsuit Black Knight would have been nice too. The icicles on his armour are such a simple yet adorable touch, and that cape, that cape looks so soft, so cozy. I've determined that it's my blanket now. Good night. I love when Faye makes super serious characters that have really unserious ults. It's really awesome to see characters in situations that you would otherwise never see them in, and first posting aside, I think Winter Black Knight is an extremely blatant example of how this sort of design philosophy really works. Seeing a big, foreboding, mysterious, super powerful Nightman get an ult where he's delivering gifts to all the good boys and girls is... I mean, it's just so fun. More ults like this please, IS, preferably also of Black Knight. Somewhere BK is still on the table, right? Now let's talk about BK as a unit. I like him. It's worth noting that I've kind of fallen out of competitive Fae over the past year or so, so my takes are very, very surface level. Gameplay wise, he feels somewhat similar to his standard version, very special spam oriented tank type beat with a 6 speed stat. I've always felt this conveyed Black Knight being this huge untouchable menace, and if that's what they've been going for, well, they've nailed it. I say that, but Winter Black Knight is definitely more oriented around his offenses, which, I mean, I don't think I needed to tell you that, just look at the 44x44 spread. But hey, the damage reduction, am I right? I don't usually like playing with armors, but in terms of overall feel, speedy armors just hit a nice happy spot in my brain. Black Knight in particular fits this particular niche where rather than just a speedy armor, he's basically just straight up an infantry god sword stat line on an armored BST. And you feel it when you're controlling him. Even before I merged mine up, I felt the most insane power in my hands. It was like Marita had started pumping iron. I think it helps a lot that he's a far saver in his base kit, whereas my vanilla BK is a near saver, so I can run them both with pretty minimal investment, though I did give Winter BK a near save skill as well, just in case. Save skills are like a whole other thing. Glue eating just feels really good in phase game feel. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Given that his defenses could be better though, and he's mostly carried defensively by his damage reduction, running something like Assault Troop in his C-slot to work around his absurd offenses is also a good shout. And maybe something like a Unity skill or an Ideal skill for his A-slot if you don't plan on enemy phasing with him, or you can just use base kit. I'm a hyena, not a cop. Also, Black Luna. He pops Black Luna constantly, and Black Luna kills things, and Black Luna kills make the happy chemicals in my brain go brrrr. I didn't have a super insightful take on this like I did last time. I just like how much fun I had with BK, and I just like BK. If you want content of me where I'm not talking out my ass, you can check me out over on my channel Kaius, and other places I guess. I'm always around. You can complain about that too if you want.
Hi everyone, I'm Blood Gang Hero, but call me Blood Gang. For those who don't know me, I'm a Marianne stan who uploads monthly Aether Raids Chaos videos, as well as doing Marianne solo clears on Abyssal maps. my favorite unit of 2022 was Ascended Air. Air has always been my favorite OC in Fae, because despite always feeling depressed from having to endure Hell's physical and emotional abuse, she slowly developed an interesting view and love for living. I felt overjoyed to see that Ascended Air can finally express that love. Design-wise, Ascended Air definitely won me over. I always liked her gothic look myself, yet she received such a gorgeous glow-up, and I'm so glad to see my girl isn't sad anymore. I really adore her naturesque motif. The birds, the butterflies, and the trail of plants she leaves behind really makes her look like a fairy tale princess who's a friend to all flora and fauna. She truly has become an ascended hero, and kudos to Akon for such a lovely art. While Fae isn't really the best at storytelling, I really love how I set up Air's story and integrated her lore into gameplay. Her mythic goal was mostly a Wings and Mercy beacon who harmed herself at first, then became a better support mythic who healed herself and her allies after a remix. And now her ascended ult is a ranger and a miracle tank, who becomes stronger the healthier her allies are. I also think of a miracle effect not just as a symbolism of true identity, but also a character development from Deathseeker to an individual who values life and wants to keep on living. In a way, she reminds me of my lovely Marianne, and Xanthwen did an amazing job voicing my favorite depressed girls. Air finally discovering her origins and becoming the princess of the realm of life just felt like sweet closure to personal arc and book 3 to an extent. Ascended Air is not just my favorite unit of 2022, she is also a character whose smile I want to protect.
Hey there everyone, LordFrigid here, and my favorite unit released in 2022 is Sita, Beloved Queen. This probably comes as no surprise to those who follow my channel, but for those who don't, Sita established her favorite unit status way back in my early days of playing Fire Emblem. Much like her mystery counterparts, Legendary Sita leans hard into an anti-cavalry and armor role, with her wing-lifted spear granting effective damage against both movement types, and her personal B passive, Faithful Loyalty, giving her advantage against both movement types as well. Unfortunately, by the time she was released, many armors already had the tools to avoid getting one-hit KO'd by effective damage, and Vantage has always had consistency issues, especially against bulkier foes. As a result, I find that she's best used as a niche counterpick for high cavalry pressure setups. I've been able to use her to great effect in summoner duels. I've actually had a few matches where the opponent got completely shut out in the endgame because their threatening cavalry had no play into her at all. She has also been very powerful during Chaos Seasons and Ether Raids, and has become a staple for my Sita Emblem 1-turn clears for Abyssal maps. Overall, I'm very happy that Sita has received her long-awaited legendary variant. It's hard to imagine what could be next in terms of alternate versions. Maybe someday she'll get voted into the top 2 of CYL, although realistically that's probably not happening for at least a few more years. Until then, I'm pleased with the suite of movement and weapon options she's gotten so far, and I can't wait to see what Heroes has in store for her next.
Hi there everyone, this is FatesFanboy speaking, and today I'm here to talk to you about my favourite Heroes unit of 2022. However, before I do, I'd like to read you a quick quote. A wise man once said the following: "The best characters in video games are always either broke, illiterate, or thieves." Yeah, me. I was that wise man. If you've watched my Fire Emblem videos in particular, you may know that I tend to inexplicably find myself drawn towards thieves in video games. Female thieves, specifically. What started out with one chance encounter turned into somewhat of a running gag within my friend group, and after connecting some dots as well as gaslighting myself a good bit, the joke ultimately stuck. But why am I telling you all this? Wasn't this supposed to be about my favourite Heroes unit of 2022? Well, that's because this entire process would turn out to be one big fateful build-up to me finally finding my favourite female character in Fire Emblem, period. And with it, my favourite Heroes unit of 2022, Kath, from Fire Emblem The Binding Blade. Thief Kath, specifically, but since they were both introduced in 2022, I wager it's fair game to briefly cover both their iterations. Now, before anything else, I'll have to come clean and say that I haven't actually played FE6, nor have I watched any supports or gameplay. I practically know nothing about Kath in her source game other than that she's a rather elusive thief who takes multiple encounters to recruit. The rest of my knowledge concerning her was derived entirely from her appearances in Heroes, which should in itself be enough of a testament as to how convincing her characterization in Heroes really was, at least for me personally. See, Kath in Heroes is portrayed as what is basically the female Robin Hood of Alib, a chipper and optimistic but also cunning young woman with a strong sense of justice, stealing from the rich to give to the poor without expecting anything in return. Despite her youthful appearance, it's clear that her skills as a thief are second to none. In fact, she's not at all afraid to shout from the rooftops of corrupt nobles' castles all over Alib and Asker. Hell, she even calls herself the Master Thief, and she thinks the entire Thief Festival was organised in her honour. In spite of her cocky, borderline self-important attitude, however, Kath appears to have a certain bashful side to her, which only really comes out when her ruses go awry, or when she's put in an outfit like this. Over the course of roughly a year, I shaped her into a speed-centered chipper with triple savage blow, and oh man, was that worth it. One of my friends recently likened it to this Swollen Fist of the North Star scene where someone's slinging dynamite around as a way of fighting, and you know, I kinda like that comparison. However, the true turning point in my discovery of the greatly entertaining character that is the Master Thief herself only came in the summer of 2022, namely the Risk and Reward banner. This particular banner was perhaps the greatest thing to ever happen in the history of heroes, right after this guy being added, of course. Not only was it mainly centered around female thieves, but it also included two of my favourite characters, Nina from Fire Emblem Fates, and of course, Kath, who was now a cat girl. Things literally couldn't get any better. This Thief Kath, a real pleonasm of a title when you think about it, turned out to be a unique unit in multiple ways. Aside from having arguably the weirdest counter range in the game, covering a 3x3 range around herself, her base kit was absolutely whack. However, credit where it's due, whoever designed her skill set really set themselves up for disaster. The weapon renders both lull and trace skills obsolete, and by that point, what other skills are you going to put on a hot new cavalry unit that shouldn't steal the thunder of the main selling point of the banner? Nor from the other main selling points of the banner. Huh. It only just now dawned on me that Kath really got sidelined hard during this festival dedicated entirely to her. Surely they could have at least spared her a tempo skill. Cannot use cavalry. Oh, okay, maybe no follow-up? That skill's pretty widely available. Cannot use cavalry. Ugh, I don't know, sudden panic? Cannot use. What the fuck? Regardless of whether or not her base kit sucked though, I was determined to summon and actively use the girl that had so quickly skyrocketed in my ranking of female Fire Emblem characters. Over the course of 2022, I summoned no less than 3 separate times for Kath, netting me a total of 6 copies of her perfectly adorable thief ult. I slapped all the attack speed-centered skills I could muster on her, and she's been a ton of fun to use. And you know, though it hardly ever occurs in a natural way, this movement option has got to be my absolute favourite in the whole game. This is what I come back to this game for time after time. Oh, and hey, how about a fun little fact to wrap things up here? Did you know that Thief Kath is the only unit to date to have a voiced line as one of her damaged quotes? Not bad! Well, I suppose that about does it for my little video essay. Hopefully your stance towards Kath has improved a bit over the course of my ramblings, and if not, that just leaves more of her for me to appreciate, so really, it's a win-win for yours truly. That being said though, I shall take my leave. Adieu, and watch your pockets on your way out.
Hey, it's me, the FatesFanboy that made a grand total of 5 videos last year, and one of them was FE related. Look, I've been playing Fae since day one, and this year I got a lot of units I like. Mawarum, Holst, Fire Mordecai, Ninja Heath, the list goes on. God, I really do have a type. Anyway, this was a big year for me, to say the least. A lot of options, and I adore basically everyone who was on that list. So narrowing it down to one is, you know, just a little bit hard. But it's gotta go to one of my favorite units in all of Jugdraw, Scarhawk. Scarhawk is a unit who I haven't even really liked for particularly a long time. It's from my only playthrough of FE4. I loved Ira in Gen 1, and when her kids came around, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Lasse's more boisterousness. So Scarhawk's far more calmer demeanor appealed to me way more. And in Fae, he is so fun to use, just hyper boosting him into defense and attack. He's borderline impenetrable, combined with the Unity to mitigate any debuffs to those stats. And well, he really cleans house and makes for an excellent frontliner. I also find this to be a really nice contrast to the rest of the Isachians, as they all tend to have far higher speed in comparison. And maybe the defense is alluding to a potential father? But anyway, aside from that, with wonderful art from Mellow Cuba and some great voice work by Evan Lewis, it really brings the character together quite nicely. And as short as my bit is, that's why Scarhawk is my favorite unit of 2022. I've been Soup, you should watch my shit, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye!
What's up guys, I'm Pheonixmaster1 and the favorite unit of mine for the last year is definitely Brave Seliph. I've been wanting Seliph to get a really good ult for a really long time and I'm so happy that his Brave ult is so strong. I just love the fact that he has got insane movement and that Miracle is just the cherry on top because he's absolutely amazing in Ether Raid's offense, in Ether Raid's defense, in Summoner duels, basically in any kind of game mode. So I mainly use him in Ether Raid's offense so that I can heal force, and with his Miracle it's pretty easy to just consistently get into the Wings of Mercy range. So that is going to be my favorite unit of the year.
Hey everybody, BA Radiant Dawn here, and we are here to discuss my portion of this year's Mega Collab, where I'm going to talk about my favorite unit released in 2023, and I don't know what just happened. That was really freaking weird. Did you guys feel that too, or was it just me? Anyway, okay, that was really weird. I don't know what happened there. I hope you guys are okay. I am, so let's continue on with this portion. We're going to talk about Summer Mickey. Let's proceed on, and I'm gonna talk about my best boy, Brave Crom. He came into the CYL round. He was kind of in the shadow of Seliph because Seliph was like super hyped at the time. But me, I saw this man's potential. I saw what he could be. Summer Mickey, as you all know, as you can tell by my channel name, I love Radiant Dawn. Radiant Dawn is my favorite game in the entire Fire Emblem series. I grew up with it. I've beaten that game over probably 90 times by now, maybe 100 times. I lost count at 79 back in like 2010. So yeah, I've played the hell out of this game and I love it to bits. And honestly, Micaiah is like such a lovely character. I plus 10 to Brave Micaiah. I now have plus 10 Summer Micaiah as well. They're fantastic units. I love the Micaiahs, and her Summer ult is no exception. And damn is he good! Mark my words, he is the best aging CYL unit from this last round of Crom and Seliph and Tiki and Byleth. I almost forgot the last one because no one ever really uses Byleth. Not only does she look pretty freaking good, she also hits like a goddamn truck. That's right, she can beat the res checks, which is really important in right now's meta with Ninja Camilla, Doduma, the Tikis. They all have res checks, and she demolishes them all. But yeah, like, he's absolutely phenomenal. I love this man to bits. He's so much fun to use. He's absolutely crazy. If you guys haven't seen, I did a video where I gave him like 15 effects. I can't remember. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. He has no cap. That's the crazy thing. His stats, cap, is the amount of people and skills on your team. That is it. At some point, we're going to be able to give him 20 effects in a 5-unit squad. And that's freaking nuts. And honestly, I love her for it. She is so damn good. So yeah, Summer Mickey, everybody. Crom's lens is a deadly sin, yeah, he's the rat the Lynn's facing. Won't let my foes get a glimpse, so they'll be stargazing. And Myra's buffs and marvel out his stats blading. 14 effects spit, but Thoki wants him to be stark naked. Mickey's got more ults than most her metaphors. She beats them with effective tomes, dishing blows. Boost the stats religiously on a calf so they can reach. She wasn't dressed for battle, caught her hanging at the beach. See them clashing on the map, I built for stats and strats you don't expect, like smoke of the teams while stacking that speed. I'm tracing tricks, check out the kit. Snapping foes like twigs, quadruple hits. I scored a bit, our match won't have me drawing Mickey's menace hits. You spot her like a maniac, so now I'll wait for the skills to sweep. We'll give them something to outspeed, I'm building up my units with a hefty feast. Our battle's getting logged, it's destiny, you taste defeat, I built a legacy, team complete.
Hi there friends, GuardianE here with my favorite unit of 2022, and didn't have to think very hard on this one. Obviously my pick is the one, the only, Midnight Bloom Camilla. Now following her sisters from the previous year, Camilla dons a charming kunoichi outfit, ready to wreak magical scroll havoc on the battlefield, and do so in style. Designed by the enormously talented Sencha, we get treated to a spectacular array of dynamic art, the sleek black and gold ninja garb mirroring the familiar colors of her original battle-tested armor. Beautiful accents of purple match her attractive high ponytail with tresses of the lavender locks trailing behind her. Now, in a world where we have page-long weapon and skill descriptions, Ninja Camilla's is blissfully short and simple, but no less effective. Her most devastating ability, outside of her charm, is her weapon's innate Vantage effect paired with a Brave Tome effect, striking twice in a row on both player and enemy phase. An enemy will engage on her, and before they can even lift a finger, will be eating a double wallop of Ninja Scroll Fire, with a Glimmer proc to boot. And since she's equipped with a close counter A slot, this means that she can effectively wipe an entire army of enemy troops, both melee and ranged, with ease by herself if they aren't adequately prepared with counters to this deadly combination. Her stat line is min-maxed around allocating points into her attack and resistance to ensure she meets her weapon's conditions and maximizes damage output. I tell ya, she has been such an incredible asset and a fantastic first check firewall when it comes to ether raids. Watching all of the enemy troops run straight into her and blow up is very, very satisfying.
Ready, sweetie?
And she works great as well as a cleanup. Like any properly balanced unit, Camilla has her counters as well. Those with Hardy Bearing can negate her Vantage effect, sweep weapons can nullify her ability to enemy phase, but that doesn't leave Camilla helpless. She still packs a powerful punch in player phase, being a double-hitting Brave Tome, and the fact that it forces some units to sacrifice a very useful seal slot for something relatively low utility like Hardy Bearing. And the fact is that most sweep units are pretty darn weak on their own enemy phase, which means that she can still come out on top in most instances with proper maneuvering and strategy. And once we get an inheritable tome special that negates damage reduction, man, her efficacy will be even further pronounced. Either as a special or potentially as a future weapon refine years later, damage reduction nullification will be a huge boon for her to close out certain wins. And so for all of these reasons, and of course my own personal bias for Camilla, Ninja Camilla is my favorite unit of 2022. And here's looking forward to another year of Fae and another year full of fun units.
What's up, guys? I'm
Zeshado Magician, and I was invited to participate in BA Radiant Dawn's favorite unit of 2022 collab. Or to put it in a language even the Neuralink-controlled lab-chimp Edelgard Sims amongst can understand, I was tasked with presenting my own insurmountably biased opinion as unequivocal fact, while talking as much bullshit as I can possibly fit into the generous 5-minute time frame I was granted. So without wasting any of that time, let's get right into it. The unit I will be presenting today is none other than Fire Emblem Heroes' very own Elsa ripoff Nifl, her summer ult to be exact. Carrying on the same banner as the absolute beast of a unit that is Summer 4, Nifl was quickly overshadowed by her peers, but that didn't stop her from being an absolute menace to society. Being a colorless cavalry dragon with built-in null follow-up and fire sweep, she can be quite a scary opponent, capable of eliminating many meta near-safe armors with ease. Unique Seasler Domain of Ice grants extra stats and damage reduction to herself and nearby allies, making her a decent support and also very comfortable to use in pretty much every game mode. But being strong isn't my main criteria when I choose which units I like or dislike. I'm the kind of person who overinvests into random units that catch my attention for whatever reason, and all of them, Nifl has so far been the one that I have had the most fun using. Not having to care about the meta at all because she kills everything she touches without fail, and having fun outspeeding any godsort infantry raid bosses in SD. It's just the pinnacle of Fire Emblem Heroes gameplay at this point. Your unit doesn't need to be the best, it just needs to be slightly better than your opponents, and Nifl usually fills that criteria quite comfortably. I've also seen people who run her in Aether's defense, for example, and find great success. Really, you can put her about anywhere and you will have fun. This unit is incredibly flexible, and I can only recommend you pick a copy up and try her for yourself. Another factor that plays into my otherwise ridiculous favoritism is the fact that I got incredibly lucky every time I tried to summon for her, even getting 5 copies in a row on double special banner. As any completely sane person would have done after committing this atrocity, I immediately joined various Fire Emblem Heroes Discord servers to most efficiently annoy as many people with my stupidity as possible, while also making some new besties on the way. Overall, I rate my Summoner user experience a solid 9.7 out of 10, with the slight point deduction being owed to the fact that Dragon Cavalry units can't inherit shit. Besides that, I have no regrets, and I'm looking forward to be invited to rival bromains now I've acquired all this fame. To end my part off at a high, I feel like a short montage is in order, so I'll sign out now. Hope all of you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and in case it's already nighttime for you, well, I guess that sucks, too bad, bye bye.
I love this unit. Flame Peony is absolutely amazing. I haven't gotten a Sharena alt in 4 years, and I saw this unit and knew immediately that I needed to summon for her. Listen, you guys have seen the kit. It's phenomenal, but just to go over it quickly, the slaying is fantastic. The triangle attack is really creative. You've got offensive no follow-up, which everyone has. The Canto 1 is what really sets this unit apart and creates some really interesting things that you can do. I have absolutely loved this unit in Aether Raids. I use them a ton. Summoner Duels, in Summoner Duels S in particular, this unit can just absolutely create havoc. And Arena, well, I use her in Arena Assault, and this is a favorite. You know, you make exceptions for your favorites, so this is, yeah, we'll count that. But anyway, moving on, just talking about favorites and rankings, and I want you to remember that you don't always have to have a meta unit to have someone that's impactful on your teams. We do a lot about meta rankings and stuff, and this unit is tier 1, and if I'm being honest, like towards the bottom of tier 1, the top being more of the Crom region. I still use this unit in just about every game mode, and I absolutely love them, so keep that in mind as you're going through and looking at units. Sometimes you get discouraged because they're not the absolute best. We're going to show a little bit of what this unit can do, though. So first up, we have to talk about Aether Raids, because I think this is where this unit is most impactful, especially with Emblem being there and just the absolute insane things that are happening with the need to have some sort of Gale Force or hit and run clear. And I have to tell you, like, this unit is so creative, especially you're looking at Chaos Raids here, and in conjunction with Emblem, where you can go in and snipe the Canto Control unit. This unit just absolutely dominates things, and this is such a fun clear that I had to show it again. This was originally in my Gale Force tutorial, and I was really proud of this one. So But the way that you are able to shift around units properly with that Canto 1 is just game-changing, and it allows you to do so many things that you wouldn't have been able to do before. Even when a Canto control unit exists and you have to work around that, this still just helps so much, and Summoners, I have really enjoyed this unit. I think you will too if you use them. Up next, we have to talk about Summoner Duels, and I know this is the most maligned mode in all of FEH, but I saw Alear come out and knew immediately she was going to be Tana's best friend. Tana can put out a lot of damage and really demolishes things, but sometimes she struggles with that only 2 range. Like that 2 movement doesn't give her enough range to really do what she needs to do. Enter Charge, given by Alear with that pair up, and it really changes the way she plays. Now, early game here, you're going to see this is all Alear, and this is really just a team of all of some of my favorite units. I have enjoyed Alear so much and have just been dumping fodder on her. So, Dual Asker has quickly become one of my favorite units. Ninian is amazing. And of course, we've got Flame Tana, who just danced Asker and helped me get that, I believe that was Aegis off of that Femortis, which allows Tana to come in and one-shot. I love that so much. Ninian doing Ninian things here to Asker is always fun. And then, of course, we have Tana come in and, oh man, Ashe just gets absolutely demolished. This Flame, Peony, and Tana is a great combination. I think they're a lot of fun to use. We're going to look at her in Arena Assault before we go, though. And this is something that's kind of looked over. And when you create teams in Arena Assault and lock them in the added teams feature there, it allows you to just go very quickly through this mode. This is one of my favorites, though, and comes in whenever I have a real problem. The ability to get so many actions through the Triandra and Peony matchup is just it helps a ton. You can already see that 2 units went out, and I'm about to finish off the last one in Dimitri, and that was quick work. Like, that made a team that was going to be problematic with the Azura and Ninjoran combination and made things much, much easier. Last, we're going to go over something a little harder here, and this is, of course, 2 duos, bonus Dimitri and Ninian. Summoners, again, this unit doesn't quite score enough for Arena, but the fact that you can go in here and take some of these really powerful teams and just level them with Tana is highly merged. All of these other units are at max +1. It is a lot of fun to see. You can see there she wasn't able to take out Dual Asker because Dual Asker is a monster. But you are able to go out and take out the rest of these units. And as soon as that happens, Dual Asker gets much less powerful, as you guys know. But again, this is something that is just so much fun to see. And what am I saying? Ishtar didn't need you to take out the last of those units. She just went in and absolutely walloped that Dual Asker. Tana cleans up and gets 3 out of the 4 units. Summoners, I just have so much fun playing with this unit. If you have them, I'm sure you are having fun as well. What can I say? Thank you so much for Bard for having me, and if you could just give him a like and a subscribe. He works very hard for this community and does so much to bring us together. With that being said, take care and schedule an appointment with your Fehology real soon.
Hello everyone, my name is KenMei, and today we are here for a little review of FEH 2022. And oh dear, if we thought in the previous years the power creep was real, I think we had seen nothing yet. We had a lot of great units this year and new inheritables that would make a year 1 player think this is a totally different game, like Finish Skills, Clash, Ninja Camilla? Dearest, even Reinhardt has difficulties against her. The Reinhardt! Well, with that out of the way, who is my favorite 2022 unit? If you know me a little, this will come as no surprise, but yeah, Summer Lynch here basically. Not only is her art wonderful, even though I have a slight problem with the design of her swimsuit or the rendering in her hair, but that's clearly nitpicking. Her new VA does wonder to convey the softness of the Queen of Crimea, and almost most importantly, she's a very solid unit. Very good stat spread that allows her to tank a bit even though she's clearly player phase, a nice A and B skill to fodder, even though a bit outdated nowadays, it's still solid for what she needs, and her bow! It is basically the best of the Ninja Yumi and the Bouquet bow. Remember this one? Not only does it have a regular might for a bow, not only does it grant +5 to attack and spin on initiation, but it is refinable and you can get a brave effect if you got 10 or more speed than your opponent. In my opinion, this is one of the best bow for speedy archers, no matter the movement type of the color. You could argue that you can get up to 16 true damage with the Ninja Yumi, granted you have enough speed to get the bonus of the bow, but its low might can be a problem at times, and it's harder to get into desperation range with the lowered defenses. I mean, I have used both bows on arguably still one of the best scouts archers in the game, Brevlin. Yes, she's still good and I can't wait for her resplendent. And I feel the white cap bow is better in a lot more instances than the Ninja Yumi. And also it has a cute design. The waves and the foam and the shell. Mwah! And you know what's even better about the Ninja? Aside from the fact that she's the second ever ult of the Queen a few years overwaiting, and that I almost think it helped us get an ult for another character people have been desperately waiting for an ult for. 30. I'm talking about Ninja 30. She is a great unit. She's basically free. Limited to 20 copies, so you can't run a full team of summer lynches, but you can still get your +10 quite easily and have a spare few to fodder her bow. And with set bow, you can have a really budget build that will still work wonders against a lot of threats. So, yeah, my 2022 unit is the Lyncher, and here's to hope my 2023 unit will be Legendary Lyncher, or an ult for Silk, or Tatiana. All the three of them? Can we get that, IS? Please. We need more.
Alright. How's it going, everyone? My name is Theron, and I'm here to talk about my favorite unit for 2022. Which, I'm not even going to get into a lengthy intro for this one.
Like it's my turn.
It's Hatari Azura. I have to choose her as my favorite unit for 2022. Reason number one, it has been, and yes, I have counted all of this, but it has been 3 years and 1 month since Legendary Azura got added into the game, which was December of 2018, and then 3 years, 1 month later, we finally got Hatari Azura. That was just way too long of a wait in my opinion. But granted, there have been many other characters who are waiting even longer for their first ult. Even so, 3 years, 1 month. A lot of us Azura fans were just suffering that entire time without a new ult for her. But thankfully, 2022 finally gave us something new. And reason number two why I like this ult, Kaya 8 artist never misses with their Azura work. And just being able to see her in the more updated art style for Kaya 8, just so much nicer. All the detailing and all the shading that they have, beautiful. Simply beautiful. And also for both Azura and Lian, obviously Desert Banner, so this is kinda obvious, but I love the whole desert dancer vibes that their outfits give. Both of which remind me of Primrose from Octopath Traveler. Just that sort of, very light fabrics and everything. Headdresses, all of it. I love it. And third and final reason, it's because it's Azura. I am one of the Azura fans on YouTube, and she's just always going to be my favorite character. If there's ever a new ult of her added into the game, you can bet your money I will name her my favorite character for that year. She's just helped me out through so much in life with depression and a lot of mental health problems that, yeah, I have to name Hatari Azura my favorite unit for 2022. And then, of course, jumping to their kit just for a little bit, I'm not an expert here, but like you can see, I gave them a very player phase kit. That's because you only need Grey Waves and Dancing Flames for support. literally everything else can be player phase, and it works really, really, really well. Thank you all so much for listening to this, and big thank you to BA Radiant Dawn for letting me join in for another year. But with that, I'm Theron, and I'll see you next time. So until then, farewell, and game on.
Hey yo everybody, my name is TheG-Flash, and I appreciate BA for bringing me on in this video with a bunch of other FatesTubers, I guess. Good to collab with you all again, and especially for BA. So, we're talking about favorite unit released last year. So, if I have to pick my favorite unit last year, it definitely have to be Rearmed Lif. And the reason why is I like Lif a lot as a character, and I just think he's such a fascinating character of how he's the edgy Alphonse, and he's pretty much the opposite of Alphonse. I mean, they're the same person, but still, I really like Lif's like backstory, and he's kind of like a tragic anti-hero in a way. And I love how he tries to redeem himself in a way when we see like this rearmed version of him, though. I love the blade he's wielding, by the way, and the arcane Eludnir. That's one of the reasons why I like him, because he's giving access this blade to so many of the different sword units that either have bad refine or doesn't have a perf weapon, though, to make them at least stand out a bit and be viable in combat. And another thing is that this guy's like rearmed like design is pretty sick, I will say. Now he's wearing like some leather jacket, and I really like characters, like male characters that wear a leather jacket, because it makes them look really, really extraordinary. So adding that onto Lif just makes him even more badass, though. And Lif kind of reminds me, like, if, you know, since I'm the G-Flash, you know, if I were to have, like, an edgier version of me, I would have based it off of Lif, you know? Give, like, an edgy design to symbolize his personality. So, yeah, this is why I really like Lif a lot, though. Love his voice acting. I like how he sounds, like, kind of, you know, a little monotone, but also can be very threatening at the same time, though. So... yeah, that's pretty much why I choose Rearmed Lif as my most favorite unit released last year. I also like he's a Sword Cavalier, and he brings good fodder, you know? The Clash skill, the Menace skill, and Arcane Eludnir. Now, I mean, Arcane Eludnir is pretty much the selling point right there. But I mean, he's a gift to so many of the sword units that is underwhelming, or, you know, have trouble keeping up with other sword infantry units that has got perf weapons and such. So Arcane Eludnir makes them at least stand out a little bit. But also because he's got, let's not forget, he's got one of the best themes in the whole game, that heavy metal rock song that plays when you battle him, at least in his, like, original version. But I mean, still, like, that song is so good. I still listen to that song, like, all the time, because it fits somebody like Lif, though. Love the purple, black design, because, you know, it's, you know, he's the general of the dead, so you gotta have a color that kind of symbolizes that, though. And I just think he's such a cool, badass anti-hero character, so, yeah, that's basically why I like Rearmed Lif. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for allowing me to share, BA.
Ah, hello there, traveler. I am the Black Knight, specifically the Winter Edition. I have come to visit you today because I was chosen as Ghost Valkyrie's #1 unit for 2022. I would like to read off what he enjoyed about my presence, but I must apologize for the audio. Having a helmet on my head muffles my voice a little, but I shall try my best. Let's begin. He said, quote, BK in general has always been one of my favorite Fire Emblem characters. Something about the winter theme fits him super well, even with the black armor and all, especially the little snowdrifts on top. His kit is very fun, what with Special Fighter 4, giving him the ability to regularly use Black Luna. His favorite aspect of this skill is described as follows. the funny. With that said, I must be going. Oh, by the way, can you shut your eyes for a second? Alright, you can open them.
How's up, everyone? I'm 53 here, and here are my favorite units that I summoned and used throughout the 2022 year. Now, before we start, here are the following units that weren't on this video, but I really used them a lot, and they're my favorite as well. And I hopefully you enjoy what I got for you guys. Thank you so much, and enjoy the show.
My wrath knows no bounds. Not even the malice in Lady Embla's heart runs as deep.
Starting on this list, we have Letitia, that have been introduced in Book 6. She really captured my eyes by making her first impressions and also her design-wise. Her weapon's amazing. I prefer to tackle fighting her solo by herself. That's the way to go. I just enjoyed the relationship between Veronica and Bruno. Unfortunate death, but still, I really recommend getting her. I really want to try to plus 10 her one day, but overall I hope she gets a new ult or something, but I really enjoy her as a green caveat.
No matter who rules the realm of the dead, it is unchanging.
Rearm Leaf is actually the first rearm hero introduced in the games that really took by surprise, and also makes sense a lot due to the fact that it's the counterpart of Ascended Heroes that I will cover in a theory video future on. Now, furthermore, his actual clothes is great, and also cavalry can actually work. His new weapon was given to Ganglo, the new ruler of Hell, and also has to face off air during the Tempest Trials. The way how I like to play is going offense and then defend back by going to the defense, and then I could just hit my special with Opening Future. As one time, I tried to summon on a recent summoning banner, there was a whole circle of breads, and then I actually get more than one leaves, and also keep getting more leaves, and then ended up plus 5 him right now. And furthermore, counting, his weapon is so amazing, I actually give it to my Alphonse and the others too.
I have made my vow to seek peace and understanding. Together, you and I will bring forth a just world.
Legendary Xander. Well, it's about time that he actually showed up for once, besides Ryoma coming in 5 to 6 years late. But overall, his design actually reminds me of King Garen, and also what we look like as he becomes King of North. His Bulwark and his Chivalry is actually really useful to heal, and also against other units as well. He extremely helped me a lot, more than just Arena and like Summer Duels or even Aether Raid. Mostly people put Xander in like bottom tier of legendary tiers, but I recommend that he's actually way higher than that. Accounting from Summer Dimitri, Xander could actually appear in more banners by a couple of months, and Dimitri can appear in the summer or even other special banners coming up. And Xander fans are loving his new powers and his new clothing.
I was once so closed off, alone, that being this open with others is a challenge.
Her own struggles she suffered, falsely accused, and fighting against her own god, Emblem, in Book 6, Veronica has become a legendary hero due to Emblem's forceful powers and aging up a bit. Her new design is actually the main design as currently as the Veronica you know now, and becoming popular due to creating new merchandise and appearing to the new mainline series of Fire Emblem Engage for DLC. And being the main enemy for Fire Emblem Heroes for the past couple of years, from having the major character development in Book 6 that eventually opened up her heart and actually gave new friends to mask her, and now opened the gates to their hearts. Veronica is extremely fun to play going for the long distance of Red Cavalry Mage with her new skill Enclosure and Attack Speed Catch 4, with also Panic Smoke 4 destroying debuffs and buffing their units.
If I were a real wizard, do you think I could find a way for all of my siblings to be together?
Halloween Male Coin. Now you may be thinking, why not the female counterpart? Sure, she has great skills and also that. She actually is a good character, but then I actually use him a lot more. Offensive and defensive, because his new weapon is crazy insane. Healing and ult plus guard with special cooldown charge +1 as a dragon unit, green dragon unit, with the new skill Dragon R4, and can survive every heavy hitter. Like for instance, like Sigurd over here in this gameplay can withstand damage like that and can just walk it off like it was nothing. So yes, thank you all for watching for my 2022 favorite heroes. And it's been an honor to be here, and please follow the following artists that have been labeled in the left corner, and I'll catch you all later.
How is up, everyone? Today, I'd like to talk about something that's been on my mind recently. So, this year 2022 banner has been out for quite a while now, and I still haven't quite decided on who to summon on it. And there's only like 14 days. Well, 15 to be exact, before it expires, so I kinda don't want to waste that. And I'm hoping that you guys, the viewers, could help me a little bit on this, and maybe give me your opinion or something. And on top of this, I've been asked about who my favorite character in the year 2022 is. So I figured, you know what, let's get these done together. So here we are. Anyway, 2022 has kind of gone, and there's been a lot of really powerful units that's been shown and displayed. Powerful units that you really can't power creep. At least not that easily. Like this one, for example. I mean, come on, you hit twice, and you have Raging Storm that allows you to move again. That's really hard to power creep. That's a very powerful mechanic. Like, I've used the original, legendary Edelgard for a while. And I have been pioneering the technique of using a Brave Axe and using Raging Storm to smash people and then escape or kill another unit. So I've already been doing this for years, and now we have this who promises to be even stronger. I don't know if I really want to get another copy, because I already have a copy. So getting another copy, the only thing I really will benefit is a bit of extra attack or something like that from merging. On the other hand, that could mean a difference between a kill or not a kill. So I've been kind of scratching my head about that. I mean, see, the thing is that I also believe in that, especially like in the year 2022, or just anywhere recently, in that characters these days are really powerful. You don't really need merges for them all that much, because +4 to all stats from +10ing something is more like, how should I put it? It's more like a novelty at this point. It's just to show people that, hey, you really like that unit. That unit is so cool that you decide to go and summon 11 copies of them. Because you don't really need that. These days, all you need is just one copy of these characters, and their powerful mechanics is enough to carry you all the way. Like, right now, you want stats? Okay, like, any weapons or something like that will give you stats. Like, 5 to all stats has been a very common thing to all the characters these days. So, it's like, oh, well, I guess I could stack on top of it with merges and such, but it doesn't matter as much as it used to be in, like, the first few generations. As a result, right now, I find myself in a situation where I'm trying to decide on who to get, because I already have all these characters. Like, these characters are all very solid, and I've already +10 who I really liked. So, I'm at this situation where, who exactly do I get? Like, I don't care for Asker and stuff, because my favorite character in 2022 is the Demon Maria. So that leaves him out. I have... Well, maybe I might get this, but it's not that strong. Originally, I thought that it was 30% of your max HP, but it turns out it's just, well, 30% of damage dealt. So it's kind of like a noontime attached to a special fighter. It's cute, but I don't know if I really want that. I think something a little more solid would be attack speed finish. So I might get that. I probably will just end up getting that. I don't know. I mean, the attack speed finish not only gives you attack, but it also gives you, more attack, more damage, but it also gives you heal. That part is very nice, because I've been devising strategies around that. Still, I mean, I don't know. Give me a suggestion with units here. Like, I obviously would like this, more copies of this, but I already have a couple, and, he's a 4-star character, so, yeah, there's that. I already have this. I already have Sonya, I already have Edelgard, I already have Thor. Like, in terms of debuffs and debuffings, I already have the original copy of this guy here. And, yeah, I don't know, like, there really isn't much in terms of solid characters. I already have this. So, I don't know, you guys think that maybe I should just summon for this? In any case, I hope to hear from your, to help you get some suggestions soon. Maybe that'll help me along the way. Anyway, so my 2022 character, though, that I'm most favorite of, is definitely the Demon Maria. Why don't we go over there and talk about her a little bit? So Demon Maria is my favorite unit in the year 2022. The reason behind this is because she's the pioneer of this funny defense damage reduction that's been going on. A couple characters have this technique now, like Brave Dimitri, which seriously turned him into a much more powerful character. But the original one who did this is the Demon Maria. And on top of this, I mean, like, unlike Asker, this one also deal extra damage based on 20% of her defense. So she's got like this miniature bonfire going on here. And if you were to stack bonfire on top of Ignis or something like that, it's pretty much a death sentence for most people who have to deal with it. So I've been teaming her up with various different characters who accelerates her specials, because she doesn't have that on her own. So the way I've set this up is that I have distant pressure, so I have distant counter and 5 extra speed on top of that, and since I heal at the end of that, I get to still gain 2 HP, completely nullifying this negative thing where I lose 5 HP a turn. So this is my setup for if I am operating alone with the Demon Maria. She can clear entire maps all by herself, all because of this nonsense of having a solid damage reduction that can't be removed by like Deadeye or even Lethality all that easily, because she's got so much defense that she can actually like just straight up remove damage. I've seen this happen a lot with Aether Raids, especially the Chaos Aether Raid, because I can't use dual save in them. So I use the Demon Maria to kind of act as the close save. See, the thing is that in terms of modes which restricts your safe armors, far save is definitely far better than the other options. So I usually like run her with I don't know, like Fat Fume or something, and I just have the Demon Maria get in the way and kind of block people off and act as the close save. So in that capacity, maybe I won't use distant pressure. Maybe I'll switch over to like attack speed special or something like that to increase her heal even further, so she heals like 14 HP at the end of a fight. It could be terribly disgusting, considering the fact that you can barely hurt her to begin with, since with the way this damage reduction is set up, if you're not doing like I don't know, like 15 or 20 damage, you're basically doing nothing. You have to do over 20 damage to do even a semblance of damage to her. And because she's a flying unit, I mean, if she's infantry, that'd be better. I slapped her with guard bearing, because when she gets attacked, unfortunately guard bearing is kind of shitty. Hopefully guard bearing 4 will be better. I can negate 50% of their damage. And when that happens, and you add that on top of this damage reduction, you basically don't take anything on the first hit. And she's really fast. I mean, she could be faster, so I might change her IVs once again so that she's fast. I don't know if speed dev or attack speed is better, but I don't know. Right now I have attack dev for maximum damage. But sometimes I feel having extra speed is probably better. Because right now I run speed smoke, so that after I negate the first attack, my speed smoke activates, so I have damage reduction right afterwards. See, the main weakness of guard bearing has just been cancelled out, because now I have more damage reduction based on my speed, of course. And I've already weakened everyone else's speed by -7 on top of that. It's a really disgusting setup that guarantees the Demon Maria to, well, never be damaged. That is why she's my favorite character in 2022. She's very, very difficult to deal with. Like, Asker, he's slow. He can't get this. Now, Dimitri might be able to, and that's why I've been looking into Dimitri as well. But for the most part, though, the Demon Maria has already been set up, and I've had her since when Spring Manor came out. I mean, I've already ascended her and everything. Dimitri, not so much. I'll have to think about that. Now, I talked about earlier about how merges and such doesn't really matter in 2022 and 2023. But the thing is, certain characters like the Demon Maria compounds this, because every point of her defense has more value than other characters. So when that happens, plus 10ing her and giving her all dragon flowers is the most ideal. Of course, I also, summoner supported her, so now she's at her maximum strength. And I don't think a character like this is very easy to kill. I gave her guard 3 so that she can kind of cancel specials, but specials these days, they find their way to proc regardless. So I think I might switch it over to speed or something. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is my favorite character in 2022, and I don't think she'll be easily surpassed soon, unless, well, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but they have to be really, really tanky. Like, even for Mortis, he has his -10 attack, funny A skill. He still falls victim to a certain amount of attacks. Whereas this Demon Maria, you can even attack with her and you'll still be okay, thanks to Speed Smoke. So, I don't know, like, it'll take a bit to change my mind on the matter. So this one's definitely my favorite for quite a while. And I don't think it'll ever change. And look at her evil eyes. She's so evil. She looks like she's having a little too much fun murdering people with that ridiculous axe of hers. In any case, so that's about it, really. I think in 2023, my favorite unit will probably be the duel of the Dark Overlord Elise and Dr. Sakura, also known as Dark Deities Elise. But I suppose 2023 is still young, and we'll have to talk about that when the time comes. And hopefully I'll be asked again on who my favorite character in 2023 is going to be. Chances are it might be this one, but we still have a long time to go, so I don't want to make promises that I can't keep. In any case, I thank you all for watching. Until next time.
Hey everyone, my name's Satachi, and I am a FatesFanboy that prioritizes in making Edelgard emblem clears for mythic and legendary hero battles. My favorite unit in 2022 is hands down Summer Edelgard, with no one surprise. Summer Edelgard is just both beautiful in art and in gameplay. I have so much fun using her, whether it's Ether raids, arena, PvE content, summoner duels, everywhere. One thing that I like to do with my Edelgards that everyone knows about is I like to make them very speedy. And the funny part is that it actually works. And Yeah, it's really, really fun. I never ever get tired doing this. It's really fun, and one of my favorite strategies in Feh in general has always been player phase and just gale forcing. So this is like, I never get tired of doing this. This is just so much fun, just doing this constantly. Oh my god. And then just going over to the enemy side and just doing it again. I have so much fun doing it. And yeah, that's pretty much my favorite unit of 2022. A very big honorable mention that almost made it as my favorite unit of 2022 was actually Brave Byleth. But you know, she's number 2. We're talking about number 1 here, but I have so much fun with her. Her art's amazing. I love her lines with Altina. And just, yeah, she's just a really fun and awesome unit all around, and I'm so happy to like have her and just, you know, have her max out and do what I do her. It's great. But yeah, that's my favorite unit of 2022.
Hello everyone, I'm here to talk about who my favorite unit was, who was released last year, and it should come as no surprise that it was Legendary Deirdre, the unit I've been waiting for years for, actually. She's good. She's ridiculously good. I couldn't ask for a better legendary version of her. What's so great about Deirdre is the fact that just if she can meet her res check, she pretty much inflicts just minus 18 attack and res on the foe. And that in turn leads her to hitting very hard. The thing with Deirdre is that she already comes built right out of the box, right? So she comes with Stillwater, Attack Res Tempo, and Attack Res Menace. She's set. Like, even with that set base kit, she can KO things. But if you really want to kick it up a notch, I definitely recommend getting Attack Res Finish for her, as well as Special Spiral 4. I'm not trying to make this propaganda for Special Spiral 4, but this really is the best skill in the game, since every unit likes to come out with damage reduction. So what's great about these two skills together is that obviously they give you plus 10 true damage, if you will. And attack res works perfect with Deirdre because she already needs to be within 3 spaces of the foe, right? So just let her get a free plus 7 to the most important stats to her. You get plus 5 damage. And then on top of that, you can also heal 7 HP. Great. Special Spiral 4. Easily charged. She comes with a Slaying Tome. So her Circlet of Balance is basically a mini iceberg that comes with a conditional miracle effect, which I'm not too pleased about. I kind of wish she got a broken infinite miracle loop like her son Seliph. Or like Ascended Celica, but it is what it is. It is called Circlet of Balance for a reason. And then honestly, you can just keep Attack Res Menace. I mean, you already have no res if you're fighting against her. Why not just make it even less res? No res for you. You also can't see here, but I did give her Mystic Boost just for extra healing with Attack Res Finish, but honestly, you can just pair it with Attack Res Ideal, Attack Res Form, Attack Res Solo. Attack Res is your best friend. She's great. I adore this unit so much. I couldn't ask for a better legendary variant of her. If you really wanted to, you can just keep Stillwater. You can see a unit hit 60 res like that. It looks pleasing to the eye. Either ways, you can't go wrong with Legendary Deirdre. She's a great Earth Legendary. Hard hitter. A nuke with Special Spiral 4 especially. But yeah, that's it about Legendary Deirdre. Definitely my favorite unit. No surprise. I waited years for her. And I hope you guys enjoy her too. And maybe this will be an eye-opening experience for you. Okay? Bye-bye.
My favorite unit for 2022 is definitely Legendary Veronica. We've gotten her in other forms, such as Brave Veronica, but we've never actually gotten a Veronica from in-game. This time around, she comes very, very strong with Enclosing Dark as her main tome and a 1-turn special in Enclosure. She's able to practically double any character if she's the one initiating combat. The way you use Veronica is you can either attack outright, but thanks to Panic Smoke 4, if you are looking to attack, the best you can do is lower the defensive unit's attack. So you see, even though Corrin is a blue unit with a negative 20% reduction on red, and she's standing on the defensive tile, Veronica is straight out able to body her using her attack twice. The first one you can see, it just deals normal damage, but because she can proc that special Enclosure, she's able to finish off the blue unit Corrin here with ease. So make sure to give Veronica lots of love, pair her with a dancer that lowers another unit's stats, and you're golden.
Hey, hello. Favorite unit of 2022 spans all the way from the Hatari or the New Year's to Legendary Shez. And I already know my answer because, well, I'm making this. And maybe if you know me well enough, you may know the answer already. It's Halloween Duma. Halloween Duma absolutely clears. I think he was probably one of my favorite units of that year, although there were a lot of great units that came out that year, including all the summer units and Duma. Well, kidding aside, there were a lot of cool units, but I think Duo Duma in particular was my favorite one for a variety of reasons. The first one being is that I generally like Duma. I think he's really cool, and I guess it also helps that ever since I started doing those Duma defense videos that I came to appreciate him way more and more. And the other thing too is that he's also a broken far save, but for me, even if he was probably one of the worst units ever introduced in the game, I'd probably still use him. Duo Duma is really great. I already had 5 Dumas on my initial defense, and it was with Fallen Edelgard, but he also came with his own PRF save, which also acted as upheaval in the sense of just damage at the start of turn 1, meaning that I could do stuff like this. With that aside, the art, the costume, and everything about him is just really, really cool. I like him. He's super fun. He's also relatively unique in terms of far saves because he does have the Brave Tiki Pulse effect, which is really, really good, especially on someone like him. And beyond that, he basically made it so I'm never missing a Fade trailer stream ever again, unless it's like Legendary Mythics, because, well, I don't really care about those all too much. In terms of like new heroes and seasonals, I'm more than likely going to be streaming those from now on because I skipped like 3 of them. And I think it started all the way back with like 3 hopes, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I guess, I mean, maybe I'll stream next time. And then they're like, okay, here's an Awakening banner. And I was like, okay, I probably should not miss these anymore. And then they dropped the Halloween one. I was like, yeah, I'm going to start streaming these trailers from now on again. Because I used to do it a lot, but I guess I just fell out of it for a while. But yeah, no, he kind of brought it back. Because yeah, I don't want to miss any more exciting stuff. So for what it's worth, yeah, Duma, for better or worse, was probably my favorite unit of 2022. Thanks again to Bard for inviting me on. Always a pleasure.
Hi there, I'm Penros776 and let's talk about the best character of 2022. I won't keep you hanging, it's Arvel. Listen, I really like this guy. First things first, I know I use this phrase a lot, but Arvel is pretty close to the top of my list of characters with non-binary swag. For reference, when it comes to gender-locked classes, they match whatever Shez is up to. Also, their sass is incredible.
Finally, some humility.
But on top of all that, the really important thing is that they saved Anima Season. Let's go back in time. Extra slot mythics are a big deal in Aether raids because you know what's better than 6 units? 7 units. And well, every other season gets some pretty good ones. Think of Regan, Dagger, Note, Ash, Aska, Medeus, let's not forget Elamine. All of these are really strong units that made a huge impact when they came out. Meanwhile, as of September 2021, Anima Season was stuck with these 2 bozos, and fast forward to September 2022, Anima Season is still stuck with the same 2 bozos. And Elamine safe balls are around now, full starting all your fun effects, damage reducing all of your damage, and also they have Hardy Fighter, and oh no, are we really expecting Ota to somehow beat this? So anyway, next Anima Mythic shows up 5 months after they were supposed to, and they'd better be good because otherwise Anima is dead forever. Well, thankfully, they were everything that we kinda needed. And I'll keep the rundown simple. 1. Res Mythic. Go beat those Elamines. 2. Applies the guard status. It's still one of the strongest in the game. Really good against Hardy Fighter especially. It's good support. And 3. They have triangle advantage against everything, which people thought was crazy busted, but weirdly enough, actually pretty fair it turns out. Or at least, I can say it was non-busted enough, that straight after Arval, IS thought it was okay to print a unit that's effective against everything instead. It's way stronger. In any case, I can really respect a unit that is exactly as strong as they needed to be to fix up the metagame, and not any stronger than that. It makes a good change from the usual IS way of doing things. I've been Penros776, Arval is great, and I'll see you next year, or maybe sooner than that if you come say hello on my channel.
Hey, what's up guys, Greenstone1 here, and firstly I want to thank BA Radiant Dawn for inviting me onto this year's collaboration. Some of my favorite units from 2023 were Halloween Corrin, Legendary Sita, as well as Shez. However, my top favorite must go to Rearm Leaf. I'm in love with his overall design, as well as how they first presented him in the Fae channel. I used Rearm Leaf for almost all my event maps, but yeah, I have nothing much to say about how sick he looks, and hopefully next year we can get a Kana alt.
Alright, what is up everybody? Johan here to introduce to you my favorite unit of 2022, which is probably pretty obvious if you either know me or just look at this layout. So yes, my favorite unit of 2022 was Young Mia. Obviously because Mia is my favorite character of all time, and she got another ult. I'm really thankful she gets another ult every, like, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years-ish, because she's popular enough, so it makes me really happy. We got some really dedicated fans for her, for good reason. Yeah, she's always top 20 on CYL female side, like, without fail. She's been there every single year. It's been great. So hopefully we can see another one soon, but especially with Young Mia, we finally were able to finish Mia Emblem, so we got our 4th copy of Mia. So super happy about that. So I'm showcasing here like a Mia Emblem clear of Abyssal Formortis and Goto. It was really fun. But yeah, she's just really fun to use, and to this day I feel like she's probably like in contention for the best infantry sword unit. Now that Alir's here, I would probably have to say Alir's slightly has the edge because of her support capabilities. Granted, Alir, I believe, needs no follow-up support if I'm remembering correctly, but that assault troop support is really nice. But regardless, I still think Mia is at least top 2 at that point. Best sword infantry unit in the game, because she has all the tools of a god sword on top of the phantom speed effect, which is actually huge, which lets her just be a step above the rest. And now with even close call 4 and times +4, your generic god sword setup nowadays, you know, she's getting 17, you know, fake speed for, you know, all her damage reduction and things like that. So just really fun to use. It's great that she doesn't have to use low attack speed anymore, because close call also, like, net gives her like the speed difference that she would normally get from low attack speed anyway, on top of the damage reduction and the hit and run effect. So yeah, it's just super fun to use. Really hoping that she can, you know, stay relevant for the next year or so, until maybe another version comes out, hopefully. Really looking forward to that. But yeah, that'll be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, BA Radiant Dawn, for, you know, always putting this crazy video together. It's always great to see what all the FedTubers are thinking about the game and who their favorite characters are of recent. So thank you so much. Hope you guys continue enjoying this game, even though the power creep's getting crazy. Even crazier, which is hard to think about, but yeah. So see you guys around. Give this video a thumbs up, because, you know, BA worked really hard for this. So until next time, guys, peace.
Yo, what is up everyone, Jay here, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite hero that was released in 2022, and that is none other than my girl, Legendary Sheeta. So yeah, Sheeta is just an amazing woman. She's my second favorite Arcanea girl after Lind, one of my favorite Fire Emblem characters in general. You know, being the wife and rock to Marth, they're basically one of my favorite pairings of all time. So when she got this legendary, I was ecstatic through the roof because they finally gave her the winged spear that she, I guess, should have had at the beginning. They gave her the winged sword from her base version, but the winged spear is what made her the best unit in Shadow Dragon, and they translated it to Feh really well because it has the dual effectiveness, of course, and it also has the ability to steal your buffs, and I like to think they gave her that effect because she can steal your heart, just like she stole Roger's and Marth's heart, if you guys have played the games. So yeah, Legendary Sheeta is all around an amazing unit. Design-wise, I love her cute. Like, look at the floofy thing she has around her neck. It's really cute. It matches with her husband, with Legendary Marth. He also has a floofy thing. I don't know what it's called. I'm just going to call it a floofy thing. But yeah, her design overall is amazing. And as a unit, she's definitely no slouch. She's not the best, I guess she's not the best Lance Flyer or Lance unit ever, of course, but in her role, she's very, very strong, being able to check/counter many armor and cavalry units. Definitely more against cavalry units because they're not as bulky as armors. She can definitely struggle killing some of the bulkier armors, but for the most part, she can do her job. Vantage sweeping, having faithful loyalty, having that partial follow-up, and also, like I said, stealing the people's buffs, having dual effectiveness, and also Canto, which I love because she doesn't have to run Canto in the B or anything. She just has it in her weapon, and any kind of unit that has Canto in their weapon or skill is really, really good with an Oath 4 skill if they can use it, because that means you can teleport and you can also Canto again after you do an action. So it's really fun to use, having all that movement, and of course, because she's a melee unit, she can also have Gale Force to even move more, so it's really fun. I do have Gale Force as one of her builds. I don't really use it that much. I use it mostly in Tempest, sometimes in Ether raids for Gale Force strats, but it's an option for sure, and she's decently versatile with this weapon. So Canto and Oath 4 is really, really fun because, like I said, all the movement you get is definitely threatening, and she's helped me a ton in Aether raids, summer duels, especially when people, you know, kind of underestimate her power. They kind of just, their armor unit might just die because they don't really respect her. So you know, and also Legendary Sheeta, when she was first revealed, like, she's one of Nintendo's very first heroines, one of the most underrated ones in my opinion. So I'm really glad that, you know, Feh has given her a lot of alts, even though I guess her her characterization in Feh is, that's a whole different topic. But in terms of like the attention she's getting in Feh, I'm really happy with it because she's very deserving in my opinion. And yeah, Legendary Sheeta is just awesome. So very underrated unit for sure. If you have a copy of her, you know, you can just put her in front of a lot of Cavaliers, as long as they don't have Hardy Bearing, of course, and stuff like that. You know, she can take them out and Vantage Sweep, just like her husband, who also loves to Vantage Sweep. So it runs in the family, and I love it. So Legendary Sheeta, you know, she's easily my favorite hero of 2022 for sure, and I hope she gets another alt sometime down the line. Who knows when, but yeah, I love Sheeta, and I'm glad she got this alt. So yeah, that is why Legendary Sheeta is my favorite hero of 2022, and thanks for listening.
Hi everyone, my name is infantrypulse, and I'm here to tell you about my favorite unit for 2022. Now, 2022 saw a lot of extremely powerful units released. You have Emblem, you have Summer Edelgard, you have Rearmed Robin, and you have my least favorite unit in the entire game, Elamine. So which of these units is going to be my top pick? Well, it's actually a dark horse candidate. My top pick for favorite unit of 2022 is Ascended Celica. Now, when Ascended Celica was released, I did not summon for her. I wanted to make her work so badly. Her miracle effect is so strong, and she's a very good unit with very good stats. But at the time, the default meta was far save tanks that tended to run Deflect Magic, and she really didn't have a good way to get around Deflect Magic or any other kind of damage reduction for that matter. So I decided to skip on her and move on. Then, however, we got a treat late in the year in the form of Rearmed Ophelia and Special Spiral 4. That skill took Ascended Celica way off the charts in terms of her power level. With a build that's attack speed finish, Special Spiral 4, and then a C slot, I use attack speed Oath. You can also use Times Pulse, Infantry Pulse, anything of those sorts. She gets incredibly strong. She has a potent nuking capability with damage reduction piercing with Special Spiral 4, and she has survivability. I have mostly used my Ascended Celica on Aether Raid's defense, where she works excellently as a nuke and tank buster. Again, with Katria especially, she can really cut through enemy defenses because her weapon has built-in tempo and slaying. With those things combined, she can fire off consistent Ruptured Skies. With something like Infantry Null Follow-Up or Infantry Speed Tactics Support, she's also consistently doubling these enemies. When they attack her back, she's living because of Miracle. So she's getting as many as 4 attacks off and 2 Ruptured Skies per combat, and then instantly recharging that Ruptured Sky at the end of combat. It's a very powerful combination. I've also gotten good mileage out of Ascended Celica in Summoner duels. You can see here, this is my match against Zeshado here, and she puts in work. She absolutely kills units, and she threatens units by having an enemy phase, and that's something that's really crucial about this nuke as opposed to, you know, your other nukes like a Legendary Veronica or the like. Ascended Celica has an enemy phase. With Null Follow-Up especially, it means that when enemies attack into her, she's not going to die with just one hit. You have to double her, or you have to have a Brave weapon in order to kill her. And that's a really, really great effect. It's really, really strong in all different game modes. Now, as far as her art goes, I am pretty vocally not a fan. She does look cross-eyed to me, especially in her default standing pose, but that's neither here nor there. Also, only one of her arms has armor on it, so what are you going to do if they hit your right arm, Celica? What are you going to do? It doesn't make sense to me. At any rate, Ascended Celica is an incredible nuke that actually has an enemy phase, and just got so much better on Rearmed Ophelia's release. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe to BA Radiant Dawn, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Well, that wraps up this year's Mega Collab video. Just a shout out again to all the FatesFanboys who wanted to join me. You guys are all amazing. I love working with you all, chatting with you all. Like, I could not be happier doing this and having you guys join me for this experience. Just a reminder to the viewers watching, this is not truly a me project. It's just being hosted on my channel. I firmly believe this is a community project, because this is a lot of the FatesFanboys in the community. Join me for this one, and they're all fantastic. So big shout out to you guys. Again, special thanks to Soup for stitching this all together for me. You're awesome. You guys, the viewers, are amazing. I love this community so much, and I'm happy to be here. If you enjoyed this video, don't just subscribe to me, but also all the lovely people down in the description below. There are links, channel links are there, timestamps, everything. And if there's anyone that caught your eye, go check them out. They have a lot of really cool content. I watch a good amount of their stuff too, so I hope you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Not just me, but everyone here. And until next time, this is BA Radiant Dawn signing off. Bye! See you, everybody.